Hello and warm greetings. I'm here to present you the latest English news. Jens Stoltenberg says NATO is expecting the Afghan government to do more on fighting corruption, holding elections and implementing reforms. A day before NATO's defense ministers meeting, the head of alliance, Jens Stoltenberg, said they are stepping up their commitment or discussing ways to extend funding to Afghan forces beyond 2020. Stoltenberg said 3,000 more troops have been sent to Afghanistan in the past few months. We will close the ministerial with a meeting on Afghanistan together with our resolute support partners. Allies and partners are stepping up with both forces and funding. We have added around 3,000 more trainers to our mission, and we're discussing how to extend funding for Afghan forces beyond 2020, he said. Stoltenberg said that Taliban should understand that they would gain more through a political settlement with the Afghan government than fighting against meat on Thursday and Friday, and we will make preparation for the upcoming summit in July. Minister of Interior Wais Ahmad Bermak said the government forces have successfully fought over 2,500 attacks in the past 11 weeks across the country. Your security and defense forces have foiled over 2,500 attacks plotted by the insurgents since the start of the month of Hamal, 21st of March, said Bermak, speaking before the lawmakers in the lower house of parliament on Wednesday. He also said that the Taliban does not have the capacity to hold on districts they seize. This comes a week after a group of insurgents launched an attack on the Interior Ministry building in Kabul, killing at least one police force member and wounding 6 others. After the attack, the ministry's spokesman Najib Danish blamed Pakistan-based Haqqani network for the incident. However, Daesh claimed responsibility and said in a statement that the attackers had been their fighters. Bermak, meanwhile, said on Wednesday that the main perpetrators behind the attack have not yet been identified. Bermak confirmed that the attackers stormed the ministry using new tactics and they had been well trained. Bulgaria has sentenced a pregnant cow to death for wandering from Bulgaria across the European Union's external border to Serbia and lacking prepared documentation upon attempted re-entry. Penka, the cow that belongs to Bulgarian Eva, entered the neighboring country without being noticed by border guards. A Serbian farmer later found the identified Penka by her barge and returned her to Haralam Pev. However, Bulgarian forbade Penka from re-entering the country as per European regulations. The Haral Penve was told by customs officer that Penka must be inspected by a doctor. The Bulgarian doctor concluded the verdict was that she must be put down because she had left the European Union. Haralam Pev told Bulgarian TV network BNT. Haralam Pev had a Serbian veterinary certificate attesting to Penka's absolute health. Nonetheless, Bulgarian authorities have demanded that Penka be shot. The Afghan government is set to release at least 269 prisoners belonging to Hizb Islami as per the peace accord signed in late 2016. The Office of the President at Palace say the decision to release more inmates of Hizb Islami was taken during the meeting of the National Security Council chaired by the President Mohammad Ashraf Ghani. According to a statement released by Ark Palace, the schedule for the release of Hizb Islami prisoners was presented during a meeting by the relevant authorities. The statement further added that the participants of the meeting reviewed the list and necessary decisions were taken regarding the release of the inmates. This comes as at least 75 prisoners of Hizb Islami were released from Kabul's Palacharhi prison earlier in January. That was the brief. Thank you for joining. Good night. Bye.